Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, people who are neither, people who are both, and the people who identify as other things or entities. All are welcome. This is Mentio with another Balance video. And today's topic is more of a mature topic, but can be affected by all ages. The balance today is the balance of being caring versus being controlling. Can be parents, friends, anyone, any type of relationship right there. It's about the relationships with others that they may tell you not to do this or that because their opinion that it's safer or you'll be happier. Or they could think if you believe in this or do that, in their belief, they may think you're doing something messed up. And it doesn't have to be religion. And I know that was a lot to process, but we can cut it down into relationships or examples of situations of relationships. First relationship, parent and child. Obviously, get out of the way. If the parent doesn't give the child a certain amount of care, the child will suffer when they're older. But the other way, what happens if there's too much care and it could lead to control? One example is if the parent was sheltering them way too much to the point where they can't make mistakes. Like I said before in other videos, the purpose of a mistake is to learn, grow, become more perfect. If the child can't have the chance to make those mistakes, they have to learn those lessons later, which has the chance to be more risky later on, or maybe be too used to the sheltering. They have to learn those lessons later, which may be more risky later on, or maybe get you too used to sheltering. The better way is to guide but not direct. Let them make small mistakes, and I know different opinions would lead to different ideas of the word small, but I mean small as mistakes that would lead to short-term consequences. And like if the kid was about to fall off a cliff, of course, you stop them, or you're being a bad parent. As the kid matures, you don't hold their hand harder, but you release little by little. If the kid wants to prove to you that they're capable, let them. As if you don't, you're breaking their trust in a sense, and shows that you don't trust them for a small task just because they're a handholder. Next, I would say the other important thing is privacy. We all want it at some point for many reasons, but all I can say is privacy and secrecy are different things. They may overlap a bit, but never breach that. Which, if you do, also tells the child that you don't trust them. You teach them skills, signs, and let them make their mistakes. If they have a phone, don't abuse that power as a parent and snoop. I don't care if you bought it. I don't care you may be mad at your own child for doing something they may have said or did. Doing those actions now, all it's going to do is push your child out of your life and never see them again. The child may develop trust issues in the future because of those actions now. The more you snoop, the more they hide, the less trustworthy you are. The situation is like a Chinese finger trap. The more pressure, the tighter the trap is. Lessen your grip and it's free. Lessen your grip on your child, the more respect they have for you, and the more they will share to you willingly. That's the key word. One last thing to add: just because you were treated a certain way by your parents does not mean you should treat your kid the same way. That's a horrible excuse and flimsy justification for many reasons. For beating your child, for verbally abusing your child, for teaching your child sexism, for teaching your child racism, for making a comment about their appearance every day to quote unquote toughen them up when that's just abuse, to snoop in their phones, etc. And probably many other things that I can't think of right now. Horrible excuses. The second type of situation is the ones that, your friends, coworkers, or others may make a comment about, oh, if you did this, you would be happier, or you're evil for this or that, even though what you're doing ain't really that bad. And you're probably doing it private. First off, right off the back, they are not you, you are not them. So how would they know that you would be happy if you did this or that? One example of this is if a person judges you just because you're gay, lesbian, etc., and so they feel the need to say, oh yeah, you would be happier straight, or other types of comments just because they don't understand, or just because they have certain rules they're under that make them feel the need to make comments. To get to the point, it's okay to be gay, lesbian, and whatnot. I'm not gay. I know I'm not gay, but I support. And I think that you are able to support something, even though you are not that thing, or if even though you don't fully understand it yourself. In this example, it's basically because of difference in opinion, but because some people may think their opinion is more important than yours, as long as you're not like doing anything too far in public or stepping over other people's boundaries. Anyone can be gay, straight, whatever. Yeah, well, another person can be straight. And trying to just understand people before throwing shade goes a long way. More you try to understand, less fighting, less war, just makes everyone happier, even if you never fully understand it. And they could say all this stuff of and excuse it as, oh, I'm your friend. First off, if they are being rude to you for your belief, they're not your friend. But anyway, they might excuse all those comments because they think they are your friend and they don't want to see you with a consequence for your belief, because they might believe there is a consequence for it when you don't think so. And furthermore, they might think that they're not offending you, but only that certain aspect you believe in. Obviously, if they are offending one aspect of you, they are hurting all of you, which is also not okay. Those quote-unquote friends, not trustworthy because of the fact that they think it's okay to make a big deal out of something that is a difference in opinion. That's them just expecting you would agree with everything they think is right. Like I said before, everyone is made of different choices, and to be offended because of different choices is silly. Respect that they have found what makes them happy, feel whole, even if you don't understand it, because someone's choices was chosen because something they might have always had, personal experience, and different pieces of information they may feel more strongly about than other information. I guess one last thing to say on, well, the example of gay or lesbian or whatever. Some people may say, oh yeah, well, the idea of gay or lesbian wasn't talked about back then. Yeah, does that mean there was no gay people back then? No. It just meant that they were more silent, as they felt like they had no voice back then. Now, people are more comfortable to share, which gave rise to more support, which is good. And to go off script a bit, that I almost forgotten about, I was more talking about to the point where someone's too caring to go to too controlling. But there's like parents out there that don't care about care at all and could only want to control their kid out of fear, which is also extremely horrible. That is why when they grow up, they could fear about their boundaries being crossed from all of that. They may be more private as a person because of that. There could be many reasons. They could have life-altering effects on them because their parent was more fear-mongering than anything. Don't use fear on your child or on your friend or on your coworker, even if you care about them. I hope you liked this episode of a balance. To finalize my point, just because you care about someone does not mean that you can control them out of the excuse for their own safety. And you can't dictate what they believe in just because you care for them. Meaning, you can't think that just because you care for them, they should align 100% to your opinions or beliefs. Hope all that made sense. I ramble sometimes. This has been Mentio, signing out. See y'all next time, folks. Bye-bye.